Hi, so hello. Thought I'd come live with an epic topic. There's something that's really definitely been key for me in the last, I'd say, 6 months. And that is realizing just how much I love seeking pleasure for pleasure's sake, right? So just choosing what feels good and following that flow and letting go of the guilt, letting go of the shame, and really amplifying my frequency in this way, in a powerful way, right? So I'm calling this the part 3B of my Unawakened Male series, and part 3A is over on Instagram. And that post was about lust and how lust equals lack just by every single manifestation principle, right? If we are needing something and needing it now, it's a lack, right? So desire and lust are not the same as pleasure. Desire and lust, the distinction between this post 3B and 3A over on Instagram, like lust is the primal lower energy center, right? It is the need now, whereas pleasure in its purest form is so in the moment, it is so in the feeling, and that is so the highest frequency of love, presence, deep loving presence, which is our high energy centers, which is where we want to be if we want to manifest, right? So I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you feel guilty or feel shameful when it comes to actually flowing with the stuff that gives you pleasure, and just for pleasure's sake? Because this is key to your business. If you're going to be in the highest frequency in your business, if you're going to be vibrating at a high frequency that attracts high quality abundance to you, you've actually got to do what feels good. This came up in the medicine temple today, like feeling resistance and having all of these attachments to what it means if you don't do the thing that was on the to-do list. And I'm always saying to my clients, if it does not feel good, don't do it. If it does not flow, don't do it. If it's a struggle, don't do it. Go where you feel good. But what I noticed in the last 6 months, as I've really done this deep dive into myself, is just seeing where when I stepped into my worthiness, I felt a lot of selfishness. When I asked myself what I felt worthy of in terms of an expanded experience of life, I noticed again how those things felt selfish or irresponsible, or didn't fit the role of who I have been, which is mum, wife, right? So I want you to ask yourself, do you resonate with this when it comes to your business specifically? Feeling guilt or shame over doing the things that feel good, meaning you do the things that you feel that you should do, and then you feel resistance, and then you're lowering your frequency, and in lowering, sorry, just dropped the camera. In lowering your frequency, you're actually, gosh, this is not in a good position, is it? Give me a sec. In lowering your frequency, you're actually attracting low frequency abundance to you, right? So it's sort of like asking yourself how you nurture this ability to let things be good without those low frequency feelings creeping in. This again is not like lusting after something or desiring after something, because those two things are chasing an outcome. Whereas pleasure is the ability to hold these prolonged states of full-bodied pleasure, right? Full-bodied enjoyment, full-bodied love, feeling, and allowing your feelings to fill you up and flow out through you. Deep presence, which leads to this vibration of divine love, highest frequency vibration. Altered states of consciousness come from this warm, fuzzy feeling, allowing the mind and the heart to come into sync synchrony, basically, allowing your resonance to come into harmony and really taking you into these higher energy centers that are away from your primal center, which is whether you're lusting after something, desiring after something, or just fucking needing it because you're scared. Because you're scared of what will happen if you don't get it. You're scared of what will happen if you don't do it. That is taking you away from your divine connection, because our connection to the divine is up in these higher energy centers that we only reach through this feeling good, the frequency of coherence, vibrating ultimately at the vibration of your highest purpose, which means that more of your divine purpose is going to just unfold in front of you. Which means no more chasing, which means no more thinking, which means no more thinking about the heart, the how, right? Divine flow. And the more that your divine purpose unfolds, the more you manifest abundance easily from there too, because you feel in your truth. Your truth is magnetism, because you're at one with universal law. So my story really was, if I look back in my business to a few years ago, certainly in my relationship as well, just doing the things that I felt like I should do, doing the things that gave me certainty, gave me external validation of my security. So the security being on the outside of me. The relationship stays there, the house still stays there, the bills still get paid, right? So you can look at this across your business, you can look at this across your relationship, you can really feel into how those feelings of shame and guilt are your unconscious unexpressed. Your unconscious asking you to take a look at where you can create alignment in your life. And ultimately, we're never creating alignment in our life, because when we're doing the work on the inside, our life starts to align around us. So where does this come back to the unawakened male? So the unawakened male, if you've been following my series of posts, live videos, you know, the unawakened male is really denying the divine feminine ability to surrender. And when we're denying that beautiful divine feminine ability to surrender, we're actually resisting the full death of our our personality, our untrue self, the self that has been created from our experiences, from our programming, from our conditioning, from our trauma, from our past lives, from the collective, which is actually the ego that is keeping you safe from the things that you fear, and you're evading the awakening of this beautiful essence self, which is your truth, your spirit self, your oneness with source. So I definitely began to shift from my unawakened masculine, my unawakened male, into my divine feminine, as I began to heal some of the things that were creating so much fear and lack of my own self-worth, which obviously had this massive impact in my business of way more money coming in, a big shift in income. But what it created was this kind of pendulum swing. So I went from really sitting in my unhealthy masculine and my unawakened male, swinging right across to this divine feminine flow, you know, embodying this lighter, more gentle, trusting side of myself. And what I was doing was kind of bypassing accepting the true nature of myself, because I felt bad about those things. So the other thing that I was doing was also lacking the somebody getting in the car next to me, probably thinking, what is she yapping on about? Hi. I was also lacking the safety within myself. That's why I was looking outside of myself for the external validation, for, you know, the safety, for the security walls, because I was lacking that within myself. I've said in these posts in this Unawakened Male series that the female, the feminine, the divine feminine is the door to divinity, but the sacred union of your masculine and feminine is how you go through the door. It's what is on the other side of the door, because it creates this safety, right? It creates this inner safety and this beautiful blend of surrender and love, with knowing deeply you are fucking powerful by divine right. And all of this is divine, right? So none of it can be taken away. So if you're looking to really explode your reach as a leader right now and start attracting opportunities to you, get in this divine flow, deepen your connections with people, experience more money, experience a more expanded way of life, this is where your work needs to be. And this is where your work needs to be right now, because I'm going to talk to you about why this Aquarius new moon is powerful for this deep growth and transformation that sets you free from the shackles of your past, allows you to fully live and create authentically in a way that is experiencing pleasure for pleasure's sake, right? Really feeling into what it is that fucking turns you on in your business, and doing that without having to think about, well, is it going to make me money, or how is it going to lead to this thing that makes me feel secure over here, and how is it going to give me that certainty that I need over there. It's going to give you this beautiful space and peace and trust. Just start creating from the essence of who you are, the essence self. The soul song, which is a beautiful way of honoring your unique expression, because who you are, and especially who you are as a brand, as a business, is not meant to be a mishmash of what you see in others, of you trying to squeeze yourself into these boxes, these parts of yourself where there will be duality within you. There's duality within me, right? There's this side of me that is very strong and tenacious and masculine. The Muay Thai shorts, the kickboxing. But then there's this part of me that is beautifully feminine as well, that I've allowed to come through as I've let my guard down, let my walls down, connecting to my sacred sexuality and letting that come through. And when I put this mishmash of myself together, and I looked outside of myself and I looked at other people, and I was like, well, how can I be all of this expression of myself? Because it doesn't fit those boxes. But it's not meant to, right? It is meant to be your true expression. It is meant to be your divine creation. It is meant to be you in all your uniqueness. And it has to accept what you see as the darkness within yourself. Those dark traits, those parts of yourself that maybe in the past you have felt shame for. Like I'm saying to you, feeling guilt and shame that I, experience pleasure for pleasure's sake. Feeling like, that is selfish. Feeling like it's greedy. That's how it felt like darkness to me. When we do this, we're just going to end up in a bad place. I'll give you an example. For example, a man, who maybe has placed all of his love and his trust in his mother as a child, and not seen this love and trust returned. He might see his beautiful, feminine, divine feminine, loving, surrendered traits, open heart, as darkness. Right? Showing his emotions, being open and loving. He's going to see them as weak. And so he's gonna close his heart down, right? He's going to become something else, keep people at a distance. That was me, actually. Something that my husband said to me, my ex-husband now, I guess, said to me once was, Claire, you always feel like you keep me at arm's length. And he was right, because of exactly that. Because I'd experienced exactly that. I also closed down my voice because of my father wound, because of his lack of acceptance of who I truly was, because of how he saw me in my full expression, in my uniqueness, as wrong. And yeah, I guess that led me to struggle to trust in my power, affected me in my business, affected my communication, it affected my expression, and historically meant that I haven't really taken responsibility for my strong, powerful truth, and I haven't stood in it either. I haven't been open to accept the kind of consequences that have fallen out in the last 6 months of really owning who I am, owning what I feel worthy of, and communicating that, knowing that that's going to hurt somebody, knowing that it's going to create separation, knowing that it's going to create loss. I didn't feel strong enough within myself to accept those consequences, right? And I feared uncertainty so much for such a long time. But uncertainty is a guaranteed path of walking off the beaten track, you know, walking your own path, creating your own way, deciding that this is who you are and this is what life and business looks for you, and just choosing to walk along that path. So how do you start experiencing pleasure for pleasure's sake, without the guilt, without the shame, so that you are having fun in your business, so that you have this beautiful creative authenticity in your business, and you make a shit ton of money because of what I said before, right? Truth is freaking magnetic. You've got to go deeper into your healing journey. You cannot avoid it. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel like it's not part of your business strategy, but it is. You know, my medicine temple, that is what we're doing. I'd say at least 95% of the time is going into those wounds, going into that darkness, treading the deep, dark, dirty, scary path of the underworld where all the fucking wisdom is. Because in doing this, we're reconnecting to our body. And when we reconnect to our body, we are connecting to the body's innate intelligence to heal itself. We are connecting to the universe that will guide us. And we are basically asking our feelings to show us the wounds that we must confront to be able to grow, to be able to transform, to be able to evolve, align. You know, we want to know where we don't feel worthy. We want to know it in feeling. We want to know where it sits. We want to know where it's hiding, because it is expressing. It is your unconscious, those frustrations that you have, those patterns that you get stuck into. That is your unconscious expressing itself. We want to know where you are afraid of your power, of your voice, when you are in your full worthiness. We want to see where you have trouble asking for what you want. We want to see where you people please. We want to see where you hold back your true self. And we want to own who you truly are and your unique expression. So this moon cycle, this beautiful, rebellious Aquarius moon, new moon, this kickoff of this moon cycle, I always work in lunar cycles, 28 days. So if you're ever trying to get me to do anything, someday in the month, I'm usually just going to look at you blankly, because my months don't start when yours do. I'm at the beginning of my month now, halfway through yours. This Aquarius new moon is powerful. It's about reinvention through fucking daring to see, daring to face what you haven't healed as the rite of passage to walking on your true soul's path. It's also about renewal, so authentic expression, which is going to invite new ways to channel your creativity and be inventive, which is going to lead to new money streams. It's going to lead to new excitement. And, it's okay to question conformity. I did. You're going to see in the next few weeks my platform, mayu.tv, roll out. You're going to see me rolling a new offer out, which is all around conscious creation. You're going to see me sharing my podcast, making money from the stuff that I really love. Not to say I don't love coaching. I love coaching, but I love creating. I love conscious creating. I love moving people with my art, my content, my music. And I love sharing stuff like that, and the conversations and leading on topics that don't conform. And I want to do more of that, right? So you can too, and it can lead to income. And finally, this new moon is about how we relate to our own sexuality and our pleasures for pleasure's sake. So just qualifying one final time, that difference between that pleasure and my post, Unawakened Male 3A, that you can go and see on Instagram, the lust. That pleasure, it's now. It's present in right now. It's just so deeply present in the present moment, loving what you are doing and fully giving all of yourself, but in this beautiful patience and expanded capacity to hold those good feelings without questioning them, without shortcutting them, without feeling like you're not worthy of them, without second guessing them. But you've got to ask yourself, what pain do you need to alchemize to allow yourself to be in that expanded capacity to hold these good feelings and be fully authentic to who you truly are? Where do your beliefs about and your relationship with money need to change for you to give yourself the freedom to be in your creative authenticity? Because if you're worrying about money, if you believe that money's hard to make, if you believe that certain action leads to money, you're not going to give yourself the space to tap into your creative power, which is your sexual energy, right? Which again comes to this good feelings and the capacity to hold them. And this right now, like this new moon, is an evolutionary threshold. You know, I said to my medicine temple this morning, the new earth is shifting. It's happening whether we want to be on that boat or not. Get on the boat, otherwise it's going to leave you behind. And it's a way, this new earth shift is away from everything that enables us to be dependent on anything outside of ourselves. Because do you hear me? You are fucking superhuman. You are fucking superhuman in your own divine right. Everything that you need is within. Whoop! Dropped it again. Everything that you need is within. And when you have impenetrable self-worth, unapologetic self-acceptance, and unfucking shakable trust, you can tap into everything within. And you can make it work for you. And you can use something like this beautiful new moon to help with that divine flow. So if you're ready to rebel and take a journey with me to your radical expression and true financial freedom, because there's no sacrifice on you, your pleasure, your time, your soul to make money, then just comment below, because I'm going to drop something powerful tomorrow and I'll make sure that I connect you to it. So I hope that's been helpful. Enjoy your evening. Bye bye.